My name is Dr. Stephen Robbins, a professor in the Department of Oncology here at the University of Calgary. As you may know, nearly 1 in 2 Canadians will develop cancer in their lifespan, and unfortunately 1 in 4 will die from the disease. Now, these cancer patients usually don't die from the primary cancer for which they were originally diagnosed. They die from when that cancer spreads to within the body, a process that we call metastasis. And in fact, in the late 1800s, a British surgeon made the discovery through his clinical practice that different patients that had different cancers tended to spread to different organs in the body. The ability to understand why certain cancers spread to different regions of the body is what Dr. Sanger and my lab are currently working on through this funding from the Canadian Cancer Society.
Cancer is a very complex disease, and the more we learn about it, the more questions that arise. And one of the things that we've discovered in the last little while is that although we've been really focusing on the mutations that are in cancer cells and the various processes and actually targeting the cancer cell, we're starting to learn that an individual cancer is like a total organ. And that organ has all different components to it, including blood vessels and other normal cells that move into the tissue. In order to understand that process, we've actually been taking some of the cues from our normal cells within our bodies, and specifically the innate immune cells, and those are your white blood cells or your soldiers within your body. These white blood cells go in and out of tissues, they circulate around, and they look for pathogens or they look for danger signals. And we think about a cancer that is metastasizing or moving throughout the body is doing very similar things. It's moved away from one site, it's gone into the circulation, and it's looking for another site for it to set up residence. And so we started to ask the question about, could we try and understand where these cells are going so that could be a place that we could start to target those cells, prevent them from actually getting to those cells. At the same time that we were interested in this question, our collaborator, Dr. Paul Koobs, was interested in how white blood cells move in and out of certain organs. And one thing that he had noticed is that there had been no protein identified within the lung and liver, two of the main places where cancers metastasize to. Together, we came up with a strategy to look for those molecules which are in those organs, hypothesizing that both those white blood cells and those cancer cells are both going to use that same molecule. And luckily, we found one. And we were able to determine that if that was in circulation at the same time that that cancer cell was in circulation, it would prevent it from metastasizing to the lung and liver. A graduate student then in the lab was able to take that and look for what it was binding to. And he identified a molecule which is called membrane dipeptidase, and that molecule has other functions, but he identified a new function, and that was to be an adhesion molecule for these cancer cells and actually for some of the white blood cells that Dr. Koobs was looking at. We've been very excited about the fact that we've been able to identify this protein. We're now looking at how and where the cancer cells actually bind to it so we can start to understand and maybe look for other small molecule inhibitors or antibodies. More and more cancers, such as a lot of the breast cancers, are now being detected at a very early stage, a stage hopefully before metastasis. The thought is that maybe we can come up with some sort of therapeutic or drug that could be given at that time to help prevent the development of metastasis to either the lung or liver.
I would like to personally thank the Canadian Cancer Society and your donors for the generous contributions to our research program. It's essential to be able to move to the next step, to be able to advance our discovery to what we hope will improve cancer outcomes for Canadians and globally.